Okay, let's dive in. We're always looking for ways to get, properly informed quickly, especially when things get complex tech-wise.
Yeah.
And today, we've got this really interesting mix. It's digital currency, a bit of AI, and this celebration. That's also time limited.
That's right. We're talking about the Pi2Day 2025 challenge. Some people also call it Pi2Day 2025.
Right, Pi2Day 2025.
And it's a pretty big update, making some noise in the Pi network world. It's definitely more than just like a simple event they're running.
And we should say, for this deep dive, we're pulling from a recent YouTube video. The channel is Osan Yo.
Which means Every World Digital.
Right, Every World Digital. And they really seem to break down the details of this new challenge pretty well.
Yeah, they did. So our goal today really is to pull out the key things for you. What is this challenge? Why are they doing it now? What are the actual steps you need to take?
And maybe what it means if you actually get involved, right?
Exactly. And just to be clear, this is all coming straight from that source material we looked at.
Okay, good. So let's jump into it then. This Pi2Day 2025 challenge. What's the core idea?
So at its heart, it's basically a new update combined with a celebration launched by the Pi Network founders.
Okay.
And it's set up as a series of steps, specific things users need to complete. Think of it almost like a guided tour through different parts of their system.
And the source mentioned something about timing, like it's really tight, 7 days only, or something like 159 hours. That sounds urgent.
Oh, definitely. That time limit adds a real sense of urgency. It creates this, very short window to jump in and participate.
So what's the motivation? Why rush?
Well, the main hook, the incentive, is this promise of. The source calls them rewards on the ecosystem, tied specifically to celebrating this Pi Day.
Okay, rewards, but do we know what kind?
Not really specific. The video just says good rewards or amazing rewards. But I think the interesting thing here isn't just the reward. It's that Pi Network seems to be pushing for active use. They're incentivizing people to actually build something and engage, especially with that main task.
Which we'll get to.
Right. It suggests they're trying to move towards, a more functional ecosystem, not just people passively collecting coins, building actual value.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that main task then. It sounds like the most involved part, maybe the first big hurdle, creating an AI studio application. What's that all about?
Yeah, that's definitely the first and probably the most detailed step. It actually involves creating something new.
How do you even access that?
So you go through the Pi browser. That's their own dedicated web browser. And inside there, you navigate to the Pi Network Studio Applications section. One thing the source pointed out is that the studio is apparently still experimental.
Oh, okay. So early days for this feature.
Seems like it, yeah. They expect future updates. If you jump in, you're kind of participating in something that's still evolving.
So what are you actually building? The source used a comparison that helped me picture it. Like making your own custom chatbot. Sort of like ChatGPT.
Exactly like that. It's a good analogy. You build something you can ask questions to, and it gives you answers back.
Can you customize it?
Yeah, and that's pretty neat. You can actually define what area or domain your bot knows about.
Oh, interesting.
The video gave examples like maybe it focuses on environmental stuff or plants or even a children's world, as they put it, so you tailor its knowledge base.
Okay. And the actual process to build it?
Seems fairly straightforward, surprisingly. You click Create New Application. Then you need to give it a name and a description.
Easy enough.
But here's a key thing. The name and description have to be in English, according to the source.
Okay, English only. Got it. Anything else?
Yes, there's a small cost. You have to pay 0.25 Pi.
Okay. A small fee to create the app.
Right. 0.25 Pi. It almost feels like less of a revenue thing and more like a way to make sure people are serious about creating it,
Yeah.
Small commitment.
Yeah, that makes sense, like filtering out spam bots or something.
Maybe. And the source even gave a real example of an app someone built using the studio.
Oh, yeah. What was it?
It was an app designed to teach Python and JavaScript programming using the Pi Network's AI.
Wow, okay.
And apparently it was successfully published onto the Pi ecosystem. You can actually find it if you search for Python within the Pi browser.
That's pretty cool. A concrete example.
Yeah. And here's maybe the most important insight from the source about this step.
What's that?
Successfully creating this AI app and paying that small fee, that automatically triggers and activates several of the other steps in the challenge.
Oh, really? So it's like the master key.
Kind of. It's a
Yeah.
crucial linchpin. It sets off a chain reaction.
Okay, so finishing that one step knocks down others automatically. Let's walk through those then. How does the automation work for the rest of the challenge?
Right. So, for instance, there's a step called ecosystem contribution. That one just activates automatically once your AI app is made and paid for. Basically, the system sees you've added an app to their network.
Simple enough. What about domain participation? Sounds specific.
It is. That one activates if you, the user, have previously bought a domain name or participated in, like a bidding process within the Pi ecosystem already.
So it checks your past activity.
Yeah, it's looking for prior engagement in that specific part of their setup.
Okay. And then there's claiming a Pi2Day gift.
That one just becomes active, apparently. It shows up as a green button you can click to claim the gift. It's a visual cue you're progressing.
Makes sense. Then the big one, KYC. The mainnet checklist, I assume that has to be totally done.
Absolutely crucial. All 9 steps of your customer verification need to be finished and showing green.
Right.
This isn't just a Pi thing. It's about, compliance and trust. And the system, the algorithm, it just automatically checks if that's done.
And the wallet, your Pi wallet.
Same deal. It needs to be active and enabled. The system checks that automatically too.
What if you're running a node for Pi? Does that count?
It does. If your Pi node, which helps keep the network secure and decentralized, is active, that step also gets detected and activated automatically.
Okay, so lots of automatic checks.
Yeah. And after those initial things are recognized, there's apparently a clap button that turns green. Just signifies you've hit a certain milestone.
Okay, a clap button. Got it. Now, what about publishing on Farside? That sounds like you actually have to do something extra.
You do. Farside is sort of like an older social platform within the Pi ecosystem.
Right.
So for this step, you need to actually go to that Farside app, register an account if you don't have one using email, etc., and then publish a post there.
Just any post.
Seems like it. Just make a post. Then, when you go back to the challenge interface, that step should automatically activate. It shows you're engaging across different parts of their world.
Okay, bit more involved. And the last automatic one, visiting a website.
Yeah, apparently there's a specific website visit required. After you do that, the final step in that sequence just activates automatically.
And then, assuming everything is green, all checks passed.
Then, and only then, can you claim the overall reward for the whole challenge.
Wow, okay. It's quite a structured process they've set up. It really ties participation directly to these potential rewards. What do you think the bigger picture is here? Why structure it like this?
Well, connecting back to what we said earlier, it seems really rooted in encouraging genuine active participation. Not just mining, but contributing.
Right. Building things, engaging.
Exactly. And while we don't know the exact rewards, the emphasis is clearly on getting something within the ecosystem, something valuable there as a result of doing these specific tasks, especially that AI app creation part.
It feels like it fosters a sense of, code development, maybe? Turning users into contributors.
I think that's a great way to put it, moving people from just passive users to active builders and participants. That's pretty vital for any network trying to grow, especially a decentralized one.
Yeah, definitely. So just to quickly recap for everyone listening, this Pi2Day 2025 challenge, it's a timed event running for about a week.
Right, very limited time.
Driven by the promise of some kind of ecosystem rewards, though we don't know exactly what. The core, really innovative part seems to be creating your own simple AI application using their experimental studio.
Yeah, that's the big hurdle and the key trigger.
And completing that sets off a chain reaction, automating checks for KYC, wallet status, node activity, past domain purchases, and requiring a couple of extra steps like posting on Farside and visiting a website.
You got it. That covers the main flow.
It's a fascinating structure, which kind of leads to a bigger thought, doesn't it?
I think so. I mean, how does weaving AI app development right into a crypto challenge like this actually change things? How does it impact user engagement or innovation on these networks?
Yeah, what are the ripple effects of these kinds of missions for getting developers involved or just active users building stuff, especially when you tie it to rewards, even if they're a bit vague?
Exactly. And maybe stepping back even further, what does this tell us about where AI tools and blockchain platforms might be headed? Are we going to see more of this kind of convergence?
That's definitely something to chew on as both these technologies keep evolving so fast. A lot to think about there.